Okay, so you had a backpack the whole time?
I mean,
Yeah, like I said, my starting gear is non-existent right now, so.
I really don't think he would bring his story gear with him. I think he would go pretty light. I have on his additional features and traits, which is probably not. Oh, it's a treasure, I guess. I have a seed bigger than my mouth, 10 vials. Actually, it's 9 vials now. And
I'm not
a burlap of oranges.
I'm not walking around with a fucking quarterstaff.
Just a half staff?
Fuck you.
I have the full stuff.
He gives her the full stuff. You're streaming, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Feckin' smarto.
And I'm the DM this evening.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have a very tired Zerico, so I hope I keep everything straight. So yeah, let's begin.
It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It will be fine.
So, last session, we all met inside of the bar, had some shenanigans ensue. Almost had a couple of conflicts inside the bar, and it wasn't until Finn got caught after the lights went out, with somebody suspecting him walking around and their purse being missing. Later on, the gentleman got too frustrated while the performance was going on that he went to go get his buddies. The party helped Finn during the confrontation. Finn almost met with his demise in that confrontation, and if it wasn't for the party, he would have died.
Mm-hmm.
So, both Lena and Finn ran away from the cops. I'm a little bit curious. What did Dalen do after that?
Probably went the fuck home. And probably
Take-
told his roommate what happened.
It was pretty late at night. You would have found him working inside of his shop in the back. Do you think you would go talk to him, or do you think you would go to bed?
Well, I didn't think he was living with the door.
Dwarf lives inside the shop. He lives above it.
Oh, okay, because I thought. I mean, he's going home. He's going home. And
Oh, okay. You're going to your actual apartment?
Yes, home.
Gotcha. All right. Understood. How about Branch?
Probably go to his orange grove.
Did you identify the seeds?
I mean, how many did I pick up? 12 seeds?
12
I mean,
seeds.
yeah, sure. Can I spend a knowledge and know what kind of seeds they are and then organize them?
Yeah.
Actually, oddly enough, my nature is only a regular 1d20. And that's a no.
You have no idea what any of these seeds are.
That's fine. That's fine.
You see like a couple maybe apple seeds from the looks of it, but man, you can't tell what people spit up at that bar. You don't know if
That's
they're
fine.
actually seeds.
Ew.
Did you say ew?
Yeah.
Hey man, you picked up stuff from the floor of a bar thinking that they're seeds.
I'm fine with that.
They're peanut
Okay.
shells?
Possibly.
Maybe. He
Ew.
doesn't know. Alright. What is Finn and Lena up to? You guys escaped from the police. I should have stopped it after combat and had the police chasing you at the very beginning of this, but
That's weird.
I can't really take that
It's
away.
Trolling a little bit. There it goes. It's weird.
It's fine. Well, Finn would be heading for the other inn, to lay low for the rest of the night. And
Yeah.
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 Um,
Lena. Yeah, Lena would be like, she'd be acting really tired. She's like, probably would act like she was half asleep on him, like when he was carrying her.
Would you guys mind role playing throughout the scenario? We pretty much both ran away from the cops. Well, they both sworn.
I was kind of about to once Chibi finished talking, but now that he said that, I'm curious how half asleep would she be acting?
Let's see.
Nah.
Oh, I got my character sheet. Let's see here. What is it? Would that be persuasion?
Hmm.
I'm gonna roll it. Probably not very convincing.
To be fair, Finn's drunk, you know.
Drunken.
Yeah.
She should probably kick you in the
Drunk.
face a little bit. I go to sleep. I'm tired. Maybe we should
Yeah.
find a place to sleep. Who are you again?
Finn will kind of stop for a second, kind of glance over his shoulder, and just say, "Oh, hi. My name's Finn, lass. And don't you worry, I'll take care of you for the night. Can't leave you for the pigs."
Oh, thank you. Yeah, she's just like. She's just kinda,
And
like, got her
Finn will
eyes
keep
pretty much
carrying
closed
her.
and just kind of leaning in on him, just trying to just laying, like just kind of just like acting kind of like really, just really sleepy. She probably is kind of sleepy too, by the way.
Yeah, you went through most of your spells,
Very
right?
excited, going through. I went through a lot. Excitement, adrenaline's gone, and she's kind of like, ugh.
Yeah. Finn would probably keep carrying her then.
Okay. Finn would. Let's see. What would this be? I need a character sheet. You would have thought I would have a character sheet up right now, but I don't. How long were you in town for before this, Finn?
I mean, I guess I never settled on an exact amount of time, but not long. I mean, whatever's convenient, probably days or weeks.
Do you think that he would even spend too much time on this side of Winterhallow?
Probably not. I mean, he's going here kind of out of desperation. It's definitely not his natural haunts.
Okay. I would like you to roll. Let's see. Perception and survival.
Okay. Perception first. That is that many. Not awful. And that's just a flat d20.
Nice.
Okay. So it seems like a really far walk when you're walking through the cobbled steps of Winterhallow. You hear the sound of crunching snow underneath your boots. And You haven't actually been on this side of the White Line shopping district before. It's not very well lit outside. You see candlelight coming in through the windows throughout the entire city. But you just keep walking inside of this direction.
Oh, how dark would you say it was when I rolled that perception?
This is pretty late evening. It's pretty dark.
So and no streetlights or anything. Do you want me
No.
to roll with this? Do you want me to roll again for disadvantage because I'd be using dark vision in that case?
Actually, yes. And what would Finn be looking for exactly? Like, are you looking for signs? Are you trying to find anything of the languages that you would know to give you any clues?
I mean, unless there's, I mean, I speak Common and Elven. I don't. The
You also
signs
have
are as good a
thieves.
thing.
You have thieves'
Thanks.
cant as well.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting that and be super helpful in helping me find a tie-in thing unless I happen to run into some other thug at 2 in the morning, which is a possibility, but you know.
Well, thieves' cant is a series of jargon and signs. It's kind of a quick way to convey a message within code.
Yeah,
However, you
yeah.
can also see like symbols and stuff, and you've seen these symbols throughout the entire city. Sometimes they tell you if there's danger ahead or safe, like a safe area for sailors or pirates. You've seen one of these signs right outside the Cracked Hoof. That's why you picked up, like, started going to that bar.
Okay.
However, you don't see any of these signs as you're
Yeah.
walking through these. So
I
we,
mean, I would not have expected to. That's why I was kind of saying I wouldn't expect thieves' cant to be super useful in this regard. Um, no, but I mean, signs are as yeah, good as anything. I mean, Finn's just literally looking for another inn, just somewhere to lay low for the night.
okay, I would say that by this point, an hour passes. You're walking through the district, and you finally come across a well lit tavern built of way better quality wood. This is definitely an establishment that prides itself, and its doors actually open.
Okay.
And there's a sign above it that says the Salty Tusk.
All right. Uh, he will, um, put Lena down for a second, kind of, close up his collar, make sure his sleeves are rolled down as far as they can go, cover up his tattoos as best he can, pick her back up and, you know, walk into the tavern, look for a chair to put her down in or something, take off his coat, throw it over her, and then go look for the reception desk.
Okay. As soon as you enter the door, you see a very well dressed man. He's actually behind a counter, polishing a glass, and barely even notices you as you come in. It's been a long day, and you don't really see too many people in this bar. But you see that it's well kept, well cleaned, and strangely warm. It's inviting.
All right. Yeah, after finding a warm, comfy spot to put Lena down, assuming she doesn't react in some way.
Huh? Oh, where are we? Alright, what is this place?
Don't worry, lass. It's another inn. We'll be resting here for the night. Just give me a minute to get us settled in.
Okay, Finn.
Did she ever actually introduce herself as Lena?
Kinda
Or did she
no,
just
but
ask for your name?
she was kinda headlining, so
That's true.
But no, she did not. But yeah,
She
she
did
was
not.
headlining.
So, pretty much this well-dressed man behind the bar. Please tell me you guys can actually pay. I've had to deal with too much today.
Finn will just kind of look up and approach and say, "Of course, my good man. I'm just he'll kind of look over at Lena and look back and say, my younger sister and I are in town visiting some relatives and need a place to stay for the night. We got in late. I hate to disturb our relatives so late. We'll have to get them in the morning." And yeah, we need a place for the night, and of course we can pay. And Finn will pull out his, belt pouch, and which jingles with a fair amount of coin, probably more than he realizes, because I still don't think he knows Lena snuck 7 gold pieces in.
It's a gold per person.
And we'll open up his pouch and pull out 2 gold pieces.
He takes the coin, looks at you. Guys need to get cleaned up.
Yes, it's been a long, hard journey. As you can see, my dear sister is exhausted. The sooner we can get to bed and rest, the better.
Can I get you guys something to eat? Drink before you guys head to bed?
I think it would be best if we dealt with that in the morning, and we would appreciate not being disturbed. We might have to sleep in and rest. It was quite a long journey.
you can hear her snoring a little bit on the table.
Lol.
He nods. Name's Ruth. If you need anything, let me know. By the way, breakfast is provided. Enjoy your stay. And he hands over a very well decorated key. It seems to be. Let's see, what kind of. Okay. What kind of skills do you have?
Me trained or proficient rather.
Like, would you be interested in this type of thing? Like, well, I'm not trying to figure out what appraise would be under on this.
I mean, I'd call praise probably an int check, but it'd be whatever ability score you think, and
Well,
I don't know.
I'm curious
I can't
if Finn would
imagine
even do it.
I can't imagine Finn being proficient in that. Then probably not.
So, I mean, it's got a good weight to it. The key. All right. So he's leaving you alone and going back to polishing glasses.
Assuming he gave us directions to the room or whatever.
He
Somewhere in
did.
that
Sorry about
exchange.
that. I got sent something. I got distracted.
No, it's fine. It's one of those things, We don't. Sometimes you don't even have to worry about it. So Finn will go scoop Lena back up and head to the room.
Is it sleepy time yet?
Yes. Finn will just say, "Yes, don't worry. It's sleepy time."
Yeah, she'll go along with it. She's probably gonna pass the hell out too, anyways, when I get to the room.
Okay. So, you
Um,
gain.
couple things Finn will do when we get into the room, just for the record.
Mhm.
A, drop Lena on the bed. B, take one of the sheets and sling up a hammock somewhere in the room,
Oh.
which is where he'll be sleeping.
Oh.
Don't awe too much. It's actually just pure habit at this point. He's so used to hammocks, he just doesn't like sleeping on things that don't move a little bit. And B, before going to sleep, he will slide a piece of furniture, preferably something big, in front of the door.
Okay.
You have exhaustion, by the way. Are you sure you want to do that?
I mean, the exhaustion doesn't change it. Doesn't change it too much for me. Like Finn said, he's planning on sleeping in, but I'm more worried about making noise and pissing off the owner. Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
Fuck it, I'll do
it's
it.
definitely a very different establishment. I mean, you have agency to do what you like inside this game, but you would know that this is a different type of establishment.
Screw it. Is there a chair in the room?
Yes.
I'll brace that under the door. We'll go halfway. I don't
Okay.
like it, but there's no sense in, waking everybody up and pissing off the owner when we're trying to lay low.
Have some added security.
Okay.
Also one more thing before going to sleep. Finn will find something sturdy to tie off his rope to, and leave it the rest of it coiled next to the window.
I'm like having flashbacks to like the reading of Innsmouth.
Hey man, I am planning escape routes. This
No,
is how you survive as a criminal.
Yeah, it's well thought out. Okay.
So,
We are-
okay, I think that's everything. I'm ready for sleep.
You didn't count the coins?
Or
Or is that
no,
a secret?
not yet. Not yet.
It's funny.
I'm trying to get a feel of each character, so I'm trying to spend time with each character. I'm not
No,
being
I mean, like you
facetious.
said, like you said, Finn's exhausted and he's drunk and, probably feels pretty shitty. He came pretty close to death. And he's still a little messed up, so
There's wash basins inside the room, by the way. You guys can
Yeah.
wash up.
he would probably superficially clean up at least. Well, no, he'd probably do that in the morning.
No problem. All right. So we're switching characters. It's a new day. What is Branch up to?
What does a branch do?
Branch, you poo.
Branch doesn't really turn off 100%. So when his sleep is just kind of a state of his body not moving for about 4 hours, but everything he sees is he's still conscious of and stuff like that. So he would probably find the nicest orange tree that he likes there, and probably start to blink a little bit, and then set up, look around, start rubbing his hand on one of the trees like it's a friend or like a handshake or something like that, and then just make sure all the trees are good and walk around until somebody told him to do something or yelled at him or did something.
Okay.
And he would probably go find just mosey around looking for his master, so he can give him the gold that he was supposed to be paying the what's it called guy.
Olnan is definitely asleep at this point.
Yeah,
It's late.
that's why he's not in a real big rush. He's just kind of mosey on and around.
Okay. So, kind of outside the greenhouse is this decently built house. You can assume that Olnan lives there. he does offer for you to be able to stay inside that establishment, but it's up to you on where you feel comfortable.
I like the Grove.
Okay. What else does Branch do before it's a new day?
Start picking the oranges, replenishing my supply, making sure the king or whatever he is, that he has oranges too. Whoever he is, I don't know who thinks he owns the orange grove.
Old Man Ori's, who's the half elf that you work with,
Yeah.
down his family line.
I'll make sure he has a good supply as well now, and make sure he gets his 3 copper. And, yeah.
And the envelope.
Mm-hmm.
The parcel.
Oh, and the envelope. I need to give him his envelope too.
The parcel. Yeah.
Yep, I forgot to write that down.
Good memory.
Thank you. I actually remembered something for once in my life.
That means I'm doing my job.
Dude, I can't remember anything anymore.
All right, pretend 5 copper in the envelope.
All right. So, new day. What would Branch do the next day? There's quite a bit of excitement. That was the previous day.
Probably go around town, try and make sure everybody has oranges.
Just more delivery runs. All right.
Yeah, pretty much. Make sure everybody's safe and good to go.
You see a lot of activity with Oathsworn.
I kind of just do my normal thing, but like start to follow them. If one of them has a hand open, I put an orange in it.
It's so cute.
They would look at you very confused and like just kind of like side eye you a little bit as they like walk away and then bite into it without peeling it and just continue walking.
Oh my god.
They are looking for people.
Great.
I wonder who.
I know who, don't I? I'm not like a complete dummy.
You hear whispers of a hanging going to happen at next evening.
Hey, what? Hanging?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Rude.
But it's up to you if you want to gather more information, or what would you do in that situation?
Yeah. What would I roll to figure out who's getting hung?
There's investigation. There's so I would say perception and investigation.
Do my perception. Oof. Oh no shit.
Yeah, it's hard to hear any of the sworn. I mean, they're not really paying you much attention because, frankly, it's kind of easy to look at this weird wooden thing walking around, and you don't really want to talk too much. They definitely have noticed you, and you just heard like little bits and pieces of that they have somebody that they are going to try. You can't really hear too much about it.
All right. I'm gonna keep an eye out for. Do I have an idea of who they're looking for, or is it just kind of? I can't. I'd actually have to ask somebody.
You'd actually have to ask somebody.
Nah, I'm good. They're not gonna. I'm just gonna walk through town, hand out oranges, make sure everybody's safe.
Okay. So, Dalen, what are you gonna do?
Probably have to go back to work the next day.
You actually are not scheduled to work this day. It was before your day off. And you fell asleep for most of the day previous until that rude customer came in. But you're pretty sure you got a pretty good deal on that. That was a ring that wasn't even worth that much.
I know. Quite a good deal.
So, Dalen has the day off. And quite a decent sized purse. What is he going to do?
He has a very pretty purse.
He has a very pretty purse.
Yes. Well, you probably want to go out and get a nice meal, cause yeah, he's a little self-indulgent.
I mean,
Treat
dude,
yourself.
it's your day off. You don't have to deal with that weird dwarf for a day.
Yeah.
Though, you do remember that Thalner's been in his workshop a lot more recently. He's not really engaging too much in conversation as of late.
Rude bastard.
It's a pretty interesting one.
Yeah, I would say he's probably gonna go self-indulge and get some good breakfast foodstuffs.
Foodstuffs.
Food stuff. Where would you go? There's actually quite a few different places you can go in the shopping district. There's a butchery and a smokehouse. There's a baker. There's a coffee house and tea.
Yeah, that's his jam.
All right, that place is called the Bean and Mortar, run by a half-orc called Maku. I'm guessing you're pretty much a regular at this establishment?
I would say so because he likes tea.
Would you tip well?
I mean, he rips people off for a living. But, I mean, if you don't tip good, you probably don't get good shit. So,
Ooh, how would he act in this establishment?
I mean, he's his sassy self. I mean, it's very obvious. That
Oh, darling. Maku is very sassy himself.
Oh shit. This is great. But yes, I would think he rips people off that are selling him things. But when he gets a little, like, good sale or a little extra in his pocket, he might be a little bit nice. Just a little.
Well, the reason why I'm asking is because it does affect things.
Yeah.
If you tip pretty well and you're a regular at your place, then you're going to have a different disposition compared to...
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out, how does Dalen act in a place that is pretty well known?
I mean, he's pretty much gonna be himself. He's just gonna go in there, order his thing, be sassy, you know, be a freaking casual flirt, and then sit at a table sipping tea.
You suspect Maku has, like, the biggest fucking crush on you, and, like, even has, like, a little special chair and stuff, and
Oh my god.
place for tea, and occasionally when the customer base isn't as bad, we'll sit with you and just kind of flirt a bit.
Oh god.
That's why I was asking if you were A good tipper.
I attract half orcs. That's my thing.
Yep.
I attract half orcs. It started with Mary. Damn it, Mary!
She can't hear you now.
Oh, sad face. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna switch characters now.
Okay. This
So,
is great.
it's the next morning. What does Lena and Ben do?
Definitely not be muted.
That sounds-
Oh, how were you trying to talk to us the whole time?
No. Just for a second.
He's probably laughing his ass off about that.
Yeah, I just frequently mute myself when other people are going and I'm not there. Stops me from blurting out, Spaceballs quotes and shit. Or Monty Python, whatever. Pick your poison. Anyway, sorry. I mean, yeah. Finn would get up and, Oh, actually, relevant question. How much do you heal when you sleep in this?
Let's look at the books.
We go through the books.
This is a new edition, and it's very relevant.
It should be a long rest.
Yeah. I want to say that you would roll your hit dice if I remember right.
There she is.
186 in the player's handbook.
I heard of Mary, I swear I did.
Yeah, she's over there doing her own thing. A long rest, at least 8 hours, in which sleep at least 6 hours, performs no more than 2 hours of light activity.
Is it rolling hit dice plus con or what? Because that's how I remember it as.
Oh wow, after a long rest, your character regains all lost hit points.
Oh, okay. That solves that.
Okay.
Yeah, you regain also your spent hit dice up to a number of dice equal to half a character's total number. To them. Minimum 1 die, so.
Okay, so yeah, you are with that rest restored.
All right.
Are there any differences in spells? Chibi, are you picking different spells?
I can't, I'm a spontaneous.
Oh, I thought that they were.
Nope.
Okay.
So yeah, my spells will restore. Yeah, it's short rest. You get a certain amount of hit dice equal to half your class level or your character level, minimum of 1, and you get to roll those with your Constitution. You can roll all of them. You get X per day. Like say if you're like level 4, you get 2 that you could use per day. You can either roll 1 or 2 or none after a short rest to recover your hit points. So. But
Good to
for
know.
a long rest, you get all your hit points back in this.
It's actually better than the other edition that we're playing, as far as resting goes.
Yep.
It's like a Final Fantasy end.
Mhm.
I did.
All right. Well, yeah. Finn would get up, check on how Lena's doing, and probably go have breakfast.
Yeah, it looks like she gets up, she kind of looks around like, where am I? Where are we? She'll rub her eyes.
Shit. What was the name of the place?
The Cracked Hoof. Is the place that she performed at the Salty Tusk, is where you guys are now.
Salty Tusk.
Yeah. Then we'll just look at her and say, we're at the place called the Salty Tusk. I brought us here last night after we got away from the debacle at the Cracked Hoof. I'm Finn, if you don't remember.
Oh, Finn, thank you. She will smile. I was really afraid. I was scared that they stopped moving and I don't know, like, are they dead? What happened?
Aye, they might be, lass. They might be. I don't know. We had to get out of there pretty quick.
Okay, am I in trouble? Did I do something wrong? I'm really afraid. I can't go back there. I can't. She's just kind of panicking a little bit, looking around.
Finn will put his hand
Deception check, Chibi.
on.
Okay.
Okay.
You can make me roll when you need to. So yeah. And the dice
Oof.
suck. Okay, I don't want to go back there.
Yeah, sorry, I gotta chime in every now and then.
No, that's fine.
No,
She's gonna walk it back.
I mean,
Well, how does Finn like respond to this? Is he more stoic?
yeah, I mean, I don't think it'd bug him that much. He'd just
Well, actually, perception and insight.
okay. Same roll actually.
The dice do not want me to win tonight. Oh my god!
Okay, you can. Something's a little bit off about her words, but you can't figure out why.
Well, obviously she's a scared little girl. Finn will just put his hand on her shoulder and say, "Don't worry about it, lass. I appreciate you sticking up for me. You may have the right idea, though. Might not be the best idea to go back to that place anytime soon. Let the heat die down a bit. The guards are not always the most understanding of types."
Yeah, I don't know what Rami would do. He's got to be mad. I don't know. It's just everything just went wrong that night. I'm just scared.
Well, don't worry. It'll work out. I'll keep an eye on you for now. Do you have any family in town, lass?
I have no family in Winterhallow. I'm on my own out here. Rami took me in for a little bit, but I have no real place to call home.
At that, Finn will just look kind of sad and say, "Well, don't worry, lass. You can stick with me till we figure something out."
Really? She like cheers up and she like smiles really big. And she like wipes her tears from her eyes. Okay, that sounds like a great idea.
Finn is such a sucker. Yep, Finn will just kind of smile and say, "All right, lass, let's go get some breakfast."
Onward. That's great.
Onward!
Oh my god. It's like you guard your words with half-truths. That's what you do.
Yep.
Oh. So what's for breakfast?
Well,
Tea and crumpets.
there's you notice that, well, of course, inside this world, then you don't really have forks in the way that we about them. It's culturally not really a thing.
Wait, I'm sorry. You cut out a little bit for me there. They don't have what in this world?
Forks.
Forks. It's fine.
Forks.
Forks. Okay.
Finger food.
Yep. I mean, most people will carry utility knives and stuff like that.
We use hashi, right?
Okay. So, on the table, you see pretty good sized fish, a little bit of looks like smaller pies. You're not sure what's inside of them, but they look very flaky and delicious. The smell of food just hits you as soon as you walk down the stairs. There's freshly baked bread on this table.
Oh yeah, Lena would be all over the bread. She's like, "Ooh, bread, bread." She like goes over and like grabs some of it and starts breaking it and eating it immediately.
But yeah, the fish on the table as well seems to be well seasoned. Looks very flaky and ready to dig in. There's not too many people inside the tavern today, and you don't really see. You don't see Wrath around.
Finn, you should try this bread. It's so fresh. It's so good.
Do you want them bigger?
Finn would probably be going after the fish, but he'd try a little bread after she said something.
And you see spiced wine on this table.
Ooh.
I mean, I guess at least it's not water.
So there's not people around. Like there's almost nobody around. It's just, is there anybody
Yeah.
serving this or?
Well, it's on the table, and you didn't see anybody else inside the tavern that night.
Well, Finn will kind of be a little bit suspicious, but, he'll dig in.
New characters. No.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yup.
I mean, does this offset you? Are you gonna eat it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Lena's been eating. Was there any butter? Right? Oh, I probably wouldn't eat kind of butter.
Oh yeah, it's pretty fresh butter.
Okay, yeah, she would definitely grab some of that and put it on the bread and eat it.
There's even a little bit of sugared almonds on the table.
Now, is there like a heat source or anything nearby? Is it cold outside? Like,
It's very warm inside the establishment. Like, you can't really tell where the source is.
because we don't hear like the crackling of fire or anything.
Not in this room.
And how big of a room is it? Is it enough to seat like about 10 or so people, or like are you talking about like 50 or like a big open area?
No, this is 10. This is like used to smaller amount of people.
Okay.
It's a little homey.
Hey, is anyone around? Is there anything to drink? That's what she'll say.
You see the spiced wine on the table, but you don't hear anything.
She'll take it and smell it. Ew, this isn't juice.
Very old juice.
I think it's spoiled, Finn.
A little, okay, a little wider.
Finn will just kind of chuckle
More
and
wide.
say, "Nay, lass, I think that's a drink you may be a tad young for."
I mean, I don't. We're,
Then again, who am I to say that? Sorry, I forgot for a second that Finn fucking joined the ship at the age of 10 and has been drinking ever since. So
a little bit quizzically and then giggle a little bit.
How empty is this place?
You don't see a soul.
All right. Finn is actually I was gonna do this in the room but forgot to, so we'll just do it here. While they're sitting down and eating, Finn will pull his boot knife out of his boot, flip it over in his hand, and handle first over to Lena and just say, Here, lass, if anyone ever tries to mess with you, just stick this up under their ribs and run.
She'll reach out slowly and take it and look at it, and she'll just nod. Okay. And then
Finn, being a good influence since whatever year this is in game.
and she will. You'll see her like put it like
That
she's
doesn't
got like a dress with
tell
some
me
belts and stuff
anything.
like that, and she'll just kind of like tuck it in between her belt, like a waist belt that she has with a dress, and just have it kind of sitting there, like on the back near her back, like okay. And actually, she'll probably remember that the bread's there, and she'll like pull out the knife and use it as a butter knife for the bread, and then wipe it off and put it
How
back.
clean is this knife? Like, does everybody have a utility knife, or is this?
I mean, it basically is Finn's utility knife.
Gonna make you if
I
you
have
do
to roll.
wider
I have to
shoulders,
roll
you
a
have to make
Constitution
it
check.
so
He didn't use it during the confrontation, so there's like no blood or anything on it.
Got a clean enough knife. Oh.
What skill do I use to clean up this knife? Oh, but yeah, the image I'm using on Roll20, just imagine a snowy version.
Mhm.
That's what the inner streets of Winterhallow look like.
I imagine that it's just this is the summer variant, right?
It's never a summer variant. I just couldn't find an image.
So
for it.
it goes from never winter, always winter.
Yeah, always winter.
That's fine. Yeah, so I imagine we continue eating. So Finn,
Yeah.
what do you do for a living? You've seen me
Um,
perform, and that's kind of what I do. I make a few coin here and there.
Finn will just kind of look around the room and sort of whisper, I am a bit of a sailor.
Oh, do you have any tales?
oh lord.
Lass, you may be a bit young for the sort of tales I have.
Oh, poo. Okay, maybe some other time then. And she'll just sit there and munch on the bread a little bit and just kind of.
Yeah, Finn will just look super awkward at that question, for the record.
She'll kind of just like pout a bit and just like look around. Where is everyone? Shouldn't someone be here?
Yeah, it is a little off-putting. Might be best we finish up eating quick, pack up, and leave.
Yeah. So she'll grab a last full loaf. Like how much bread's left there? She'll like grab like a big handful of it, like I guess like a baguette, and she'll like.
On you, that is huge.
Yeah, so she'll like grab it with two hands and like sit there and hold it and like, okay, I think we're good to go. She's got like this big
Yeah.
packet of bread like with her, munching on it.
Okay. So, Finn, you saw a lot of interesting things last night. I'm not sure how much of the spellcasting you would have seen from anybody other than Dalen.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah?
Like, I'm not sure if you even know that Lena saved your life.
I mean, given I was unconscious, I was assuming not. But yeah.
So pretty much you have no idea of her abilities.
Nope, I think she's just a little girl who plays music.
Yep.
How
This is
adorbs.
terrible. The
I think you mean amazing.
unlikely companion. Oh my god.
So yeah.
So it's like it's kind of like Finn. It's like when he was a little kid, became a pirate. He like became an adventurer and whatnot. It's like he's a kid. It's like, oh god.
Anyway. So yeah.
Definitely not a pirate adventurer.
I mean, Finn would say they're the same thing. Piracy is the ultimate form of adventure.
Winterhallow is actually a pretty good way of life to do some buccaneering.
But yeah, it's anyway, I guess once we're done eating, grab all our stuff and head out and look for a clothing store, actually. I want to buy us some nice, thick hooded cloaks.
Can't imagine why.
I have no idea why you would ever want to do that. I
It's
mean,
cold out.
You
Yeah.
haven't
It's
heard
cold out,
anything.
that's why.
Very
You haven't-
cool.
You haven't
Yep.
done any investigations. How would you want to do that?
It's cold out. That's my story and I'm sticking to it.
So, all right, it's morning outside. You hear whispers about a hanging. Do some rolls for me. Investigation, survival. Let's see what else would that be.
All the stuff that I don't have.
Yep, sounds like that.
And perception.
Like I said, all the stuff I don't have.
So mine's gonna be perception, investigation, survival in that order because the bonus goes 2-1-0, so it's just easier. Perception, investigation, survival.
Yeah, you see a presence of Oathsworn just walking around, seemingly looking for something. Though you do know that there is a place that you can fix your clothing and buy some pretty good cloaks. About 20 minutes away. Finn, you've only dealt with this tabaxi a few times, but it's an establishment named the Silver Stitch. You kind of broke down her door last time you were there.
Oh,
We
lovely.
might have double the prices on those.
Or I might have none of the price. We'll have to see what happens.
Don't.
Anyway, sure. I guess we'll head that way, taking back streets if we can.
Okay. That would increase the time to about 35 minutes or so, but you reach the establishment.
All right. Finn will just walk in, spread his arms wide, grin, say, "I am not looking for any trouble this time, but I need some things, and I need them in a hurry. Don't make this complicated."
You see a tabaxi, well dressed, kind of do the pissed off cat look. What are you doing back?
Finn will just stare back at him and go, "I need two
Her.
cloaks." Her, sorry. I'm sorry. You think Finn can tell the gender of cat people at a glance?
Fair enough.
Finn will just say, I need 2 cloaks, one for me, one for the lass," and he'll point at Lena, and say, "And if you could stitch up my coat while you're at it, I'd owe you a favor."